In this second video, we're going to do a second scenario. In this one, we're going to do profit forecast, and we sell 4 products: grommets, sprockets, widgets, and flugel valves, and these are the number that we sell. Then we have what our constants are, what our cost per item, and what we sell it for. And then we have a variety of sales results. We have sales, cost, profit, and our percent. And we're going to create a few scenarios to talk about a worst case, expected case, and a best case scenario. So as a reminder, scenarios allow you to save a set of values for cell values, and then you can create a variety of reports on those. Again, while it's not required to name them, I would recommend naming your ranges for what you're going to include in your scenarios. So we're going to change the cells in B4 through B7. We're just going to change the number of units. So we're going to highlight those 2 columns. We're going to go to formulas, and we're going to create from selection. Again, we're going to use the left column. And then we want to have some output. We don't know what we're going to use, so we'll just include all 4 of those. And we'll create from selection. Again, left column. We're not going to use these numbers. We're not going to change these as scenarios, but if you needed to, you could change those, or name those. All right, so we're going to go to data, and we're going to go to what if analysis, and we're going to choose scenario manager, and we'll add. And our first scenario is going to be the worst case. We're going to change cells B4 through B7, and we'll click OK. And again, you can see the value of naming your ranges. Otherwise, this would have been B4, B5, B6, B7, which works, but it's kind of a pain. So in this one, we're going to change all these numbers. We're going to change the first one to 750. The next one will be 4100. The third one, this is for widgets, will be 2000. And the fourth one, the old flugel valves, will be 2400. So those are the 4 values that we're going to start with. This is for the worst case scenario. So we'll click add. The next one is going to be expected. So expected case, same changing cells. This one we're going to change to, actually we're going to leave the values as is. This is what we currently have. So we called it expected case. You could have called this as current values or current situation. So we'll leave those all as is. The order you create is really your own choice. And we'll do one more add. And this one's going to be best case. This is where it's going to be exciting, hopefully. And we're going to type in 2200, 4350. Oops. For some reason, it jumped out of that. Let's try this again. 2200. This will be 4350. I must have hit enter by mistake. Widgets will be 3750. And the old flugel valves, 2,950. So what these values are is what people would expect to be a best case situation. This would be what we would really like to make. You could have a super duper best case scenario if you wanted. So we'll click OK. So when I must have clicked OK by mistake when I did that. So we have the 3. So right now the expected case is what we currently see. If we click on worst case, you can see the values change, and best case, they change yet again. So these are just 3 different. We could have different cases. You could have scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. You don't actually have to give them a name. And then the last thing we can do is, since we have our scenarios, we can do a summary. And again, what a summary does is it gives you an overview of all of your scenarios. So for this one, we're going to do all 4 outputs. So we just select them. Again, the absolutes don't matter. So we'll click OK. And then you can see the various namings. So like I said, you could go here, and if I wanted to, I could get rid of the underscore and put in a real space. Current values we really don't need, so I could hit home and hit delete. Only do that if the assignment says to do it. So we'll just get rid of extra stuff. You can change all the formatting you want, but just remember these are actual values. I mean, I can change these numbers and I can reduce the numbers themselves, but there's no formulas. If I decide to go back and add a case, then I need to make this scenario summary again. I call it a scenario summary. It's also referred to as a scenario report. So this gives you an overview of what these various scenarios have. We have worst case, expected case, and best case. So that is a second example of working with scenarios.